Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're taking you on a whirlwind city hopping adventure through Netherlands, Belgium and France, all in just 1 week. We start our tour in Amsterdam, after a 12-hour flight from Tanzania to continue our world tour. After breezing through customs, hopping on the train to our accommodation, we dropped our bags and were ready to explore. First things first, eat. We ordered an omelette and a stuffed croissant, as this place was known for its egg-based dishes. But was it worth the hype? If you love an eggs overload, this place is definitely for you, and it was reasonable value. Time to explore. Wandering through the city, we stumbled upon a local market, famous for its Dutch tiles and of course, cheese. Cheese is a serious business here, and they had it infused with all sorts of flavours. Free samples? Yes please. Next we wandered through the Notre-Dame district, lined with canals and historic townhouses. They were built originally in the 17th century as a part of an extensive water management system to control flooding and improve trade routes. With all that walking, we worked up an appetite. Time to try Fabel friet on Rundstraat for one of the most famous Dutch street foods, pommes frites. This institution had a huge line and we were just too hungry to wait. Just down the road we found another highly rated spot. With no line here, we walked straight in just as they were whipping up a fresh batch. The verdict on these ones? Crispy, yes, but lacked a little bit of flavour from the potatoes, and there's just a bit too much mayonnaise for us. Feeling like we might be missing out on something special, the next day we gave Fabel friet a second chance, arriving earlier this time, also swapping the mayonnaise for tomato sauce. But tasted quite similar. Maybe we're just not used to the fries here. To balance those salty snacks, we needed a sweet Dutch treat, Stroopwafels. We visited Hans Eggsdorf, a fancy bakery with a 4.8 star rating and over 6,000 reviews. What is a stroopwafel? It's a Dutch sweet treat, made of 2 thin crispy waffle cookies sandwiched together with a layer of caramel syrup. Here they make stroopwafels fresh by hand right in front of you. Sounds amazing, right? This one was crispy, still warm from the waffle iron and had a toasty flavour. But at €7.50, this was expensive, and I think I preferred the one on our KLM flight over. Let us know your favourite place. The next day we visited the Van Gogh Museum and saw some of his most famous pieces up close. It showcases the evolution from dark tone ones to more famous expressive works. That evening, we had a special visit planned, the Anne Frank house. There's no filming inside unfortunately, but the experience was incredibly moving. The tour takes you through the hidden annex where Anne and her family lived in fear during World War II. It's something you have to experience in person in Amsterdam. From Amsterdam, we hopped on the intercity train to Brussels, and just under an hour and a half later, we arrived at our accommodation. Getting around Brussels was super easy thanks to its convenient metro system. It's well connected, affordable, and way less hectic than some of the other European cities. Looking at you, Paris. Looking for something different, we stopped at a Vietnamese restaurant and dug into some crispy spring rolls and caramelized beef ribs. It was a solid choice because it gave us the energy to explore the city. Our first stop, Grand Place, and wow, this plaza looks straight out of a fairy tale. The 14th century buildings, those intricate Gothic statues, it's unbelievably stunning in person. No visit to Brussels is complete without seeing its most bizarre famous landmark, the Manneken piece. Yes, a tiny bronze statue of a boy peeing. But more importantly, in Belgium, we had to try their famous sweets. And first up, their waffles. We got ours with fresh cream, and wow, best waffles I've ever had. Doughy, chewy, buttery perfection. On the theme of sweets, we wandered into the Royal Gallery of St. Hubert, a stunning shopping arcade filled with high-end chocolate shops. Definitely worth a visit. We had to try one of the macarons, but they also gave us this free treat. Now you know that this one wasn't disappointing. It was delicious. Then we made our way to St. Michael's Cathedral, Belgium's national church, where royal weddings and funerals are held. This place was grand, with breathtaking stained glass windows lighting up the place. And for dinner, well, we tried some kind of Belgian beer braised beef stew. Because when in Belgium, the portion was huge, so luckily we decided to share one plate. The place was very busy, but it wasn't our favourite meal of the day. The next day we were off on the Eurostar from Brussels to Paris. A quick 1.5 hour journey brought us to the final leg of this adventure that's taken us across 3 cities and 500 kilometres. Our accommodation in Paris was on the 6th floor. Lucky there was an elevator, but it was barely 1 metre squared and felt very sketchy. We dropped off our bags and noticed the place wasn't cleaned yet, but hey, it was still early, so no worries, right? Time to explore Paris. Our first stop, the Eiffel Tower. But let's be real, the first priority was trying a famous French bakery. We went to Maison Bourguignon. Their selection was insane. From pastries to sandwiches, paninis and baguettes, they had everything. We decided upon a stuffed croissant with ham, egg, tomato and all the trimmings, plus a baguette with chicken, mayo and salad. And wow, the baguette was next level. Buttery, crispy, and that rich mayo, hands down the best baguette of my life. And that croissant was so crispy and flaky, you could really taste those different layers. We just had to go back for more. A flan and Vienna roll. And if you're in Paris, put this place on your list. Plus the staff was super nice, which is always a win. Our next stop was a quick metro ride and a few hundred stairs to climb, but we still made it in time just for sunset. Now where are we? We're at the top of the Arc de Triomphe. And wow, these views of Paris, absolutely stunning. But back at our accommodation, things took a turn. It still wasn't clean. And at 6:30 PM, we got a message saying there was a problem with the cleaner. And we had to go across town to another hotel. I don't think so. Through booking.com, we managed to get a full refund, but we still had to scramble to find a new place. So back down to the metro and up and down those millions of stairs. Seriously, does Paris still not have lifts? Finally, we made it at our tiny new hotel at 9:37 PM. Exhausted, we gave up finding proper food and hit up the local McDonald's. And honestly, their truffle mayo burger and thick cut wedges were pretty decent. The next morning, we took a roll along the River Seine, where they recently held the Olympic Games. Gotta say, you'd have to be pretty crazy to swim in that water. We continued along, passing by all the historic buildings. It certainly felt like we're in a movie set. Our destination for this dreary morning? The Louvre. Our pro tip, buy your tickets online, but still expect a line. And before joining it, walk to the front and check which one you need to be in, as there's only a tiny little sign right at the front. and a very stressed out worker arguing with anyone. You'd think with this many tourists, you'd probably have a better system. Inside, the Louvre fills up fast. We booked an early time, but even then, the Mona Lisa was absolute chaos. No lines, just a mass of people pushing for a selfie. It was ridiculous. After all the hectic sightseeing and a mediocre lunch, we needed something to lift our spirits. Enter another croissant. We grabbed a chocolate croissant and a chocolate eclair, and suddenly all our disappointments melted away. The way they mixed in the different flavours was just genius. They were so good we made a special trip back just to try a fresh out of the oven plain croissant. So worth it. With such a huge range, you definitely want to be making multiple trips to make the most of it. The next morning we checked out the Notre-Dame. It was still under refurbishment when we visited, but I believe it's back open again now. From there we grabbed breakfast at a bit of a touristy crepe spot. As usual, we had to order a coffee to start the day and try their savoury crepes. Again, we shared just the one as it was a little bit pricey here, and overall it wasn't really much to write home about. Next up, the Montmartre area. This area, though touristy, had a great laid-back vibe. It felt like stepping into a classic Parisian postcard. Artists were painting in the streets, charming cafes and winding cobblestone alleyways. And while there, we had to visit Pierre, a place famous for their beautiful macarons. Expensive, yes. Worth it, absolutely. You could easily spend half a day walking the streets here. And after that morning of exploring, we worked up an appetite and decided to try a steak tartare and duck confit, some traditional French cuisine. This is my first time trying the steak tartare. It was interesting, but it was probably too much raw meat for a main dish. The duck confit, on the other hand, was very oily and had a very strong flavour. Overall, not quite what we were expecting, but that's okay, there would still be room for another bakery item later. But that just about wraps up our whirlwind journey through Amsterdam, Brussels and Paris. Some hits, some misses, a couple of tourist traps, but a few local gems in there. But definitely an unforgettable trip. Catch us next time as we explore more, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. And we'll see you again in the next one.